Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to 8 Ball Sports here. And as you can tell by the title, probably the most exciting game of week 2. Now some games are not, or excuse me, week 3. Some games aren't done, like the Clemson-Louisville game is still going on currently, as well as the Texas-USC game. And some other solid games going on right now. But by far, the most exciting game, at least so far today, the Florida-Tennessee game. If you haven't seen it, go check out the highlight of the crazy 63-yard Hail Mary, basically, that Florida State won the game with. So just quickly getting into the stats. For Tennessee running the ball, John Kelly had a fantastic day. 19 carries, 141 yards, a touchdown, 7.4 yards a carry. Passing the ball, Quentin Dormady, 21 for, I think that says 39, 259 yards, one touchdown, but the key thing here, 3 interceptions. John Kelly in the receiving game also had 6 catches for 96 yards. Marquez Callaway, 3 for 46. Ethan Wolf, 3 for 37, as well as the lone touchdown. For Florida, running the ball, Malik Davis had the big 74-yard run, but he lost it right before the goal line. So, you could argue he has 94 total yards on 4 carries, but from one big carry that ended in no points and a turnover. So, LaMichael Ryan, 11 carries, 55 yards, and then Mark Thompson, 7 carries, 30 yards. Passing, Felipe Franks. Now, I'm going to go back. I made a post-game analysis of the, who did Florida play week 1? Florida-Michigan game. And now I'm an Ohio State fan. If you haven't seen that one, I keep it unbiased, just like this game. I love college football. That's why I'm doing this. I'm not a fan of Florida. I'm not a fan of Tennessee. I do live in Tennessee. Why I'm an Ohio State fan. My dad's from Ohio. Everyone calls me a bandwagon. But I live in Tennessee. I'm around Tennessee fans all the time. I do not like Tennessee. But I don't like Florida either. I'm not an SEC fan. But I love college football. This was a very good game. I watched it. I was flipping back and forth between the Ohio State game, this game, and a little bit of the Mercer-Auburn game because that one was pretty close for a while. But I mentioned in the Michigan-Florida game that Florida needed to choose a quarterback and stay with him because in the Michigan game, they flipped in between, I forget the other guy's name, the guy from Notre Dame, not Kaiser, but the Zaire maybe? Is he still? Maybe. And Felipe Franks. And I said they needed to choose one. Either you let the rookie, you let the youngster, the freshman go out there and make a play, or make plays, or you let the veteran, the guy who's been in these big game situations with Notre Dame, go out there and he gets the start and he does it the entire time. As I just got to know that Clemson scored a touchdown. Sorry for looking up about that. And so I said they needed to choose one and stick with them because in the Michigan game, you asked the veteran to go out there in the middle of a game. He was not ready. And sorry if you hear that noise. I didn't do anything, but that was weird. But I said in the video, you needed to choose a quarterback. I personally felt like they should have let Franks finish that game against Michigan. And that's what they did here. Franks wasn't having a great game. The offense wasn't having a great game, but they let him finish, and he made a big play, hopefully a confidence builder if you're a Florida fan, and hopefully you can build off this big win and and go on and win the SEC East, which I'll get more on about that later. Tyree Cleveland, the guy who had the big catch, a 63-yard catch, 93 receiving yards, and a touchdown on 5 catches. Kadarius Toney, 4 catches, 40 yards, and then Brandon Powell, 340 with a score as well. So there was one thing that I normally say, normally when I'm going down the stats for each team, and that is special teams, that is kicking. But if you watch this game, you understand that is too big for this. Special teams was a key factor in this game. I'm sorry for all the cuts and pauses, but Tennessee kicking 2 for 5. They brought in a new one who made the one that tied up the game, but he missed the third miss is the one he missed. The other guy, and I can't necessarily say it's the kicker's fault. These were both pretty long field goals, 47 and 51. I know for the first guy. I don't know exactly how long the first miss was for the second guy, but if you're a college kicker, that should be made. especially because he already made a 51-yarder. He already proved to people that he could make it, and so him missing all those, you look at it, that's why they lost this game. Special teams. So then just other things I have written down here. Tyree Cleveland, the guy with the huge catch. They interviewed him. He said it was for all the people affected by Hurricane Irma. Nice thing to say. He also had a big 46-yard punt return in this game, which is going to get overlooked. But that was a big punt return, flipped field position, led them on down the field. Sorry, that made no sense. But now the big thing I've been. Since I live in Tennessee, I'm around a bunch of Tennessee fans, and a lot of what I've been seeing is the coaching's fault. And I think that is a good reasoning, but you can't blame the coaching for the entire loss. The players did not play a great game. The defense looked solid, but they also looked solid against the Florida offense that hadn't scored an offensive touchdown until they finally did in the fourth quarter of this game. I saw a meme that said the last time Florida scored a touchdown, Barack Obama was president. So, that just goes to show how long ago it's been. But Tennessee, defense did look solid. But the coaching, I can agree with, for the most part, that is a big reason why. At one point in the game, they were backed up to their own 1-yard line, and they passed the ball for, I believe, all 3 downs, and that actually led to the pick 6 for Florida to give them, I believe at the time, a 10-point lead. I don't dislike Dormandy. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I don't think he is a quarterback that's going to take Tennessee to the next level. Joshua Dobbs carried this team on his back. Joshua Dobbs carried this team to an 8-4 and 9-4 record. And you can argue with me about that in the comments, but you look at the facts. He was a very, very good quarterback in college, and the defense was nothing last year. The only reason they really won a good amount of those games was because of him. Now, you can blame it on injuries, you can blame it on whatever, but he carried the team last year. He carried the team all the past years. And now they don't have him anymore, and I think their guy to go to is John Kelly. He had over 200 yards total, by far. That's just receiving and rushing. And you're at your own 1, and I get that you don't necessarily want to be too conservative, but from your own 1, you should run the ball. And I know maybe you're trying to catch them off guard. Don't throw it 3 straight times, though, because then you're putting either your punter only gets like a 10-foot setback, and they're probably going to bring a lot of people trying to get a block, or you throw an interception, which gives the other team great field position, or in this case leads them to a score on the defensive side of the ball. I disagreed with the play calling there. Also, and this part is one of the parts that it's one of those, you can put it on the coaching, but part of it's on the players' awareness and just the players' abilities as well. The final play of the game, obviously what everyone's going to be talking about. The wide receiver did a great job. Sorry, I lost his name. Cleveland did a great job of finding an open space where he could start taking off. Because he ran his route, he looked back, kind of was slowing down, saw his quarterback had the ball, saw he was running up, he put his arm up, and then he just took off because he was trying to get into the end zone. And he saw that the defender was here, and he was here, and he thought he could beat him, which obviously he did. Sorry, but as a defensive back for Tennessee, or any team in that case, you're forcing overtime. The time has ran out, and whether you know that or not, I know there was 10 seconds left on the play or on the clock, but I think you should have enough awareness to realize that it's been 10 seconds, or it's been close to 10 seconds. You do not let anyone behind you. And you don't if you're at the goal line, you do not let anyone behind you. Because if they can catch anything they want to, they can get a 62-yard game and you tackle them at the 1 and you're still headed to overtime. Or they can get sacked and you're headed to overtime. So as a defensive back, corners and safeties combined, you have to keep everything in front of you. And I don't know who it was. I think it was the safety. It could have been a corner. Got lost. Didn't get lost. I think he honestly just kind of gave up on the play. He saw Franks was getting pressured, so he thought, oh, we're going to sack him. We're about to go to overtime. Franks escapes the pressure. He's ready to, he's looking for someone to throw to. He realizes this play's not over, and then he sees Cleveland running beside him, and he can't catch up in time. And again, part of that's on the coaching. Maybe the coaches didn't tell him, to keep everything in front of him. But I feel like that's also some common knowledge. So I think the loss can be blamed at 50% on coaching, 50% on the players. Dormandy, 3 interceptions is unacceptable without those turnovers. Special teams, Tennessee lost this game for themselves. And I'm not saying that they should have won this game, but I'm saying that they are the reason they lost this game. Mental mistakes, special teams mistakes, I guess that's basically all the mistakes. And if you're Florida, I don't know when you're getting your better players back, your running back, Scarlett, and whoever that receiver is out. Sorry, I don't know his name. But I think Florida could win the SEC East, which is the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video. Florida could win the SEC East. I see Georgia being the front runner right now. I think Vanderbilt, I don't know what the score is. Alexa, sorry. What is the score of the Vanderbilt-Kansas State game? Didn't answer me. Alexa, what's the score of the Vanderbilt game?
At the moment, the Vanderbilt Commodores football team are tied with Kansas State.
So it's still 7-7?
7-7.
Okay.
With 2:18 left in the third quarter.
I think Vanderbilt is going to get overlooked in this division. I think they can beat Tennessee. I'm not saying they're better, but I think they can beat Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina, Missouri. South Carolina is also having a pretty solid start to the season. I think Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt, and then maybe South Carolina, Missouri, Kentucky. So I think Vanderbilt's going to get overlooked in the division. I think Georgia's the front runner. Florida's number 2. Vanderbilt, Tennessee kind of tied for 3rd because they're going to play at the final game of the season, which could have big implications looking at it now. And then South Carolina for that. So that is my prediction. I hope you guys enjoy this post-game analysis. Again, I try to keep it as unbiased as possible. I'm not a fan of either of these teams, but I just love college football. I say that every video. I wake up at 11. I go to bed at 12 p.m. because I stay up and I'm going to watch the Clemson-Louisville game, which is on right now, and that I'm missing some action for. But so if you guys did enjoy, please hit that thumbs up button. It really would mean a lot. And please subscribe to the channel for more post-game analysis. Last week we had a huge growth in subscribers and views. And also, if you're a Tennessee fan, my most viewed video, also my most disliked video, was the Georgia-Tennessee game from last year with the Hail Mary, where I kind of bashed Tennessee, saying they shouldn't have won that game, and that if they keep doing this, they're gonna lose. Which I was correct about, that they were gonna lose in the future. But if you're a Tennessee fan, okay, a little lower on the hate there. I am not. I frankly, I didn't care who won this game. It was a great game. I love college football, and I love this game. So if you guys enjoyed, please subscribe to the channel. Leave your comment. Who do you think is going to win the SEC East? That'll be my question for this video, and I'll see you guys later.